Hi there and welcome back to my channel. This is Sean, the Honest Book Reviewer, with another book review. In this video we're discussing Death of a Traitor, written by MC Beaton RW Green. Well, it's really written by RW Green, but based on characters and ideas from MC Beaton. It's book 35 in the Hamish Macbeth series. Who can imagine that this would go for 35 books? It's such a long-running series, it's so successful, and this book I love. This just brings back the feeling of the old books, the old Hamish, the old village, the old adventures, the old mysteries. I really enjoyed this book. This just makes me want more books in this series, so I'm hoping RW Green writes more books in the Hamish Macbeth series. At the start of this book, we find Hamish is still reeling from the events of the previous book, the murder of his fiancée. And who can blame him, really? And it seems the people in the village also think he needs time alone. They're keeping his distance, it seems. And through this book, we don't get to see a lot of the people of the village, so I think that theme runs through the whole story. But Hamish's quiet time is soon going to come to an end, because there's a missing woman called Kate Hibbert. She's been missing for about 3 weeks, I think. And when she left her home, so she walked out of her home, she's not abducted, she's not kidnapped as far as we know. There's a witness who sees her lugging a suitcase away from her home, so people think she's just gone somewhere, gone on holiday somewhere, and she's got form for that. She disappeared in the past, and police were searching for her and found her on a holiday somewhere abroad. Her cousin Diane is worried and keeps bugging Hamish for updates. Have you investigated where Kate is? And Hamish can't do much. I mean, there's not much to go on. People think she's just gone on holiday. Her suitcase is missing, clothes, that sort of thing. So nobody's really suspecting that anything untoward has happened to Kate. A short time later, a body is discovered, and Hamish is called on the scene. The body is discovered because the lock is draining of water, and somebody obviously threw the body into the lock, weighted down with rocks, with big rocks, thinking nobody's going to drain the water from the lock. But the water's drained, and Hamish notices that this body is Kate Hibbert, and the suitcase is there as well. He's got to call the police on the scene, or the police from Strasbourg, and before they get there, he decides to investigate a little bit. It's a bit naughty. He decides to dig around in the suitcase, and he finds a secret compartment in the suitcase. I'm not going to say what he finds, but he finds just a black package. That's all I'll say. And he thinks, could this be linked to why Kate was murdered? Who knows? He thinks she's been murdered. Not proven yet. They still have to do an autopsy to find out, but he suspects that. So he takes that package, hides it, and he wants to investigate that himself. With Blair being sent to Glasgow, Jimmy Anderson is the person on the scene, and that makes Hamish a bit more comfortable, a bit more happy, because Blair was tied up in the whole goings-on in the previous book. Anyway, Jimmy likes to have a tipple. He's got a taste for whiskey, and on the way home from Hamish's, he has a car accident, a very bad car accident, and he's put in hospital. So he's out of action from the police force, from the investigation, and nobody else around can take his place. So Daviet, who's Anderson and Hamish's superior, decides to bring in somebody from the outside, and that person is Blair. And we all know Blair has a history of hating Hamish, and Hamish doesn't like Blair either. And with the events from the previous book, Hamish really doesn't like Blair. It's with a passion, basically. Thankfully, the author keeps Hamish and Blair away from each other most of the time. There's little bits of confrontation here and there through the book, and it's good to see Hamish get the upper hand on Blair. And Hamish seems to have that now. He's got the power in that relationship between the two, and I like that. It's bringing back the Hamish of old. Hamish who has a bit of courage, a bit of strength, a bit of righteousness even, and I like seeing that in Hamish. With a new sidekick called Davy, Hamish starts to investigate through his village and other villages in the area, and I enjoyed that in this book. I like Hamish Macbeth books when they focus on his home village, his own area, but when he goes to other villages in this book, it feels like his own village, so it feels comforting as well. And the people he talks to just feel like they're his old friends, they know him as well, and you get that sense of comfort. He has clues nobody else has. But what will those clues mean? Will they mean danger for somebody because he suspects something's going to happen. And there seems to be some dangerous people in the area. Some things do start to happen for him and people in the village and other people in other villages. And I'm not going to go into what they are, but are they going to be deadly? Are they going to be lethal? Is somebody's life in danger? All these things start to unravel as this book is progressed. And I enjoyed this very much. I thought this book was fantastic. I love the mystery. The mystery seems so well thought out and so well planned. I love the setting. The settings in the Highlands. What more can you want? I love those kind of village settings, country village settings, whether it's in the Highlands, whether it's in England, wherever it is. I love those village setting mysteries. The characters are so well done in this book, so well described. I just felt like MC Beaton writing the characters, and I don't know how RW Green is doing that, but he feels like MC Beaton in the way he's writing it, the writing style. Also, the walk down memory lane, when Hamish is going on the investigation, he gets help from outside sources, and some of those sources are people who worked with him in the past, old constables, who are no longer on the police force. And I love that. I love that. Just felt so comforting, having that walk down memory lane and getting to meet those people again. And I hope we get to meet more and more of them in future books in this series. I really enjoyed this book. It's a great book. It just felt like the Hamish of old. It felt like the series getting back to the strongest part that it used to be. It's so hard to talk about characters after 35 books in a series. And who do you talk about? Let's start with Davy. Davy is new to this book, and he's just tagging along with Hamish on the investigation. Now, I enjoyed Davy. When he came in the book, he felt like a character that had a lot of bravado, had something to prove. But he's not that. You get more of him as the book progresses, and he feels just chuffed to work with Hamish. He feels like he's learning a lot. He wants to learn. He wants to get on with the villagers as well. And you get that sense as the book progresses. You see him talking to villagers, see him making them comfortable as well. At the start, he wasn't so much, but he starts to learn how to talk to people, how to get on their best side. And that was great growth in this character for Davy. I hope that Davy will stick around for more than one book. I'm not sure if he will, but I hope he comes back in later books in this series. Hannah is an elderly woman who lives in Hamish's village, and I enjoyed this character a lot. She feels so comforting. She feels very charming as well. She's just like one of the characters you expect to see in these books and in this village. And you just get a sense that she's somebody you'd like to visit and have tea with. Tea and scones, because everybody seems to want to give Hamish homemade scones, and that just seems so comforting and so quaint in these books. But Hannah is just a great character. I really enjoyed her. I enjoyed her moments with Hamish, her dialogue, those scenes with Hamish. I enjoyed just seeing her interact with Hamish and all that involved. I won't go into everything that involved because it's pivotal to the book, but I enjoyed this character a lot. Daviet. Now let's look at Daviet after 35 books. How has he changed? He seems to have mellowed a bit with interactions with Hamish, and there's one scene towards the start of the book where he wants to get out of his walking group, and he's trying to devise a plan with Hamish to do that. That was a great scene, so comical, and it gives us a different facet of Daviet that we've not seen before. He seems to have that bit of larrikinism that other people in the village have in the Highlands, and it makes you feel like he's part of the whole area as well. So I enjoyed Daviet as a character, and in this book, he has just different elements that aren't in previous books in the series. In my opinion, this book is one of the best books in this series. Even though it's written by RW Green, it's still one of the best books. I rate it a 5 out of 5. Everything about it I loved. I loved the mystery. I loved the characters, the setting. I just loved the way everything just was planned out and plotted out in this story. It just felt so controlled, just felt so comforting as well. And to have that walk down memory lane with some of the old characters coming back, even for small parts in the book, just felt so comforting and so special. On my channel, I review many cozy mysteries. If you enjoy cozy mysteries, check out my channel and subscribe. I also have a Hamish Macbeth playlist on my channel. It should be on your screen now.